Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a walking around freeform kind of video because that was what I felt like and I haven't done it in a while. But the topic today is going to be series that I want to continue when my physical TBR is 0. So at the time of filming this, I have under 10 books on my TBR, more than 5, under 10. I'm sort of partway through a few books because I've gone back and forth on DNFing one or not, but it's crazy how close I am to attaining this goal that I've been working on. And thus I am so excited to be reading all the new books that I haven't been able to think about in a while, including continuing a lot of the series that I've kept but I haven't finished yet. So I'm just going to turn around and wander at my shelves and talk about what springs to mind as something that I want to really continue a series that I've already started. Okay, so nothing up there. Oh yes, first one. Okay, I want to continue the Goodluck Girls series. I think that's what the series name is. This one is so cool. I read it last year and I gave it 4.75 stars. So was it earlier this year? No, earlier this year I did. And I'm just so excited to see what happens to these girls because it's kind of following a trope that I really want to read about that I don't often read, is the main characters escaping some terrible situation and actually escaping it. A lot of the time they go to escape it but then something pulls them back to that situation, and I always want to read something where they actually get to escape what they're doing and I want to see their new lives, and I'm really hoping this seems like it's being set up that it's going to fulfill that want of mine, and I'm really excited to see if it does and just to see where these 5 girls end up. I also do want to continue the next book after that's sitting on my shelf after it, which is part of the Chemical Garden trilogy. The first one is Wither. The books are by DeStefano. I'm curious to see whether I enjoy these or not. It's based on a world where, because of all the medical influence that we've had, women die at 20, men at 25. And so young girls are being abducted and being forced to breed to hopefully try and continue on the human race because the life expectancy is so short now. And this girl was abducted in this book. I really remember enjoying it. It is a YA, so I am curious to see whether I still enjoy it as an adult again. But I always intended to continue on with this series to see actually what happens to the main character. What else? No. Oh yeah, 100%. Definitely. I want to continue on with the Southern Vampire Mysteries by Charlaine Harris. I absolutely love Sookie Stackhouse. I haven't watched the TV show True Blood. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I've never really stuck with it. But I absolutely love Sookie's adventures. This is kind of like an urban fantasy, like paranormal romance, that kind of thing, but I really enjoy it. I find it difficult to find paranormal romances / urban fantasies that I enjoy, but I really enjoy Sookie's adventures here, and I can't wait to see who she ends up with and how life progresses that way. Charlaine Harris is so interesting as a writer. Like, I literally enjoy moments, like even simple things where Sookie is just washing the dishes, because I just find it so interesting the way that Charlaine Harris writes things. Well, yes, and I really want to continue on with this series by Robin Hobb, the Farseer trilogy, and then continuing on to the rest of the series. I absolutely loved Assassin's Apprentice and I can't wait to go on to the second book to see what happens with Fitz's life. I was a little bit worried when I was starting this series because I'd heard that it's a bit miserable, and sometimes I find it really difficult to read about miserable people because I think, well, I'm a positive person, so even though shit things can be happening in your life, if you're still doing something to try and overcome them and move forward, then I'm okay. But I was a bit worried that some books are just so, woe is me, nothing's ever going to get better, but this one was actually a lot more positive than I was expecting it to be, and I really enjoyed this one, and I'm excited to see a lot of the political stuff that it's set up at the end of this book, and I'm really hoping that it continues to be enjoyable, obviously. No, I'm good there. Now let's go across here. Oh yes. Now, a series that I always think about, that I've thought about for years when I've thought about continuing series, is the Lunar Chronicles. I've only read Cinder. I really enjoyed it. Again, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it as Nelly as a late 20-year-old, but it does help that this book was widely talked about on YouTube a few years ago, and a lot of people that are my age or close to it did enjoy it, so I'm really hoping that it's good. The only thing that I'm a little bit meh about is that it seems to, from what I've heard, feature a different protagonist each book, and that can be good in some ways, but I really wanted to see what happened with Cinder, and I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be hard for me to get into the second book because I will be like, I'm here for Cinder and you're giving me a new protagonist. But again, I am hoping that because a lot of people on BookTube seem to enjoy this series, and I did enjoy the first one, that it should pick up. And I think I gather that you still get to see what happens in the storylines of the other protagonists. They're just not the main one in every book from what I understand. But how gorgeous is that cover? Like, I fell in love with the cover, and then it was a really good book, so I'm excited again. And the last book that I'm actually going to finish on, so there are more on this shelf that I'm still going to continue, but I'm not super excited, but this is the Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. I really enjoyed His Majesty's Dragon and the relationships. I am a little bit worried about the rest of the series because I heard that the second book is a little bit rough, but I'm still willing to give it a go and hopefully I will enjoy it. This is one of those dragon bond relationships and I'm really excited to see what happens. I get a little bit meh with the war stuff because once a dragon is found to, how do they describe this book? The Napoleonic War with dragons. So some of the war stuff is a little bit heavy-handed and a little bit too battle scene-y. That kind of is a bit difficult to really enjoy. But the highlight with this was the relationship between the dragons and their riders, and also all the other people at this training school that they're at. So I'm really hoping that the next book continues to live up to what I've enjoyed so far with this one. So there we have it. I don't know how many series that was, but I'm sure I will count when I'm doing it and it can be in the title of this post. But thank you so much for watching this. I'm so excited to get my TBR down and to see where I'm at when I'm finished with my TBR, and I just can't wait to continue all these series that I've been thinking about for so long, and then also starting new ones. So thanks everybody so much for cheering me along. We're getting down to the wire, only a couple more months to go, probably like maybe between 2 and 4, but we are getting there and I'm so excited. I'll talk to you all in my next video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, leave a comment if I've inspired you to do so, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Bye!